Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about how I feel that posting online and social media and how YouTube has changed my life. Most of these videos fall under a genre of being like, I got 5 trillion subscribers and then I made $70 billion. Like, that's not the point of this. But I feel like this is one of those things that people are very intimidated to do, even if they are interested in it. So I wanted to talk about my experience, the good and the bad, and have it not be based around making money or what milestones that I've hit, because I only have like 200 something subs. So the first thing I want to say is, if you can't handle doing this, like if you don't actually truly want to do this and you only want to do it because of making money, don't do it. Because I believe it is possible to make money online. Obviously, there are many people who have done it, but I mean, I guess things like TikTok and Instagram, more short form, might be more approachable to some people. That might be easier for them to keep up with. But when it comes to doing long form like YouTube, it's a big commitment, and it's not a commitment that you're going to want to make unless you like making YouTube videos. Like, I like making YouTube videos, which is why I keep doing it. If you don't like making YouTube videos, you're not going to have the energy or the motivation to keep doing it, and you're gonna quit. Many people never become successful at all doing this by traditional means. And I think most people that don't succeed by traditional means, it's because they don't want to. But the point still stands, like, many people don't become millionaires. Either they use this just to support their business, or they use this just for them, just for fun. So if you only are interested in this because of what you've heard about how it can make you money, I do not see that going well for you. I just wanted to start there. I wanted to start with that, in saying that if you don't actually like making videos, don't do it, okay? But to be more specific, what are the negatives of making videos? It is very time consuming and sometimes stressful. If you really care about your upload schedule, life happens. For me at least, there is nothing more infuriating than having things come up and then having to rush to put out a video that I was supposed to have optimal time to film and put together. I try to remind myself it's normal to like miss an upload. It's normal to have things get in the way. It's normal for not every single upload to be spectacular. But there is a lot of pressure to post consistently, because if you don't, you feel like you're not moving ahead, you're not getting better, you're not doing your part to attract more people to your channel, which is why focusing exclusively on growth is going to stress you out. That's just not always going to happen. The second negative is, if you care about it, it costs money. It doesn't necessarily have to cost money if you really you're fine with just using your phone. But as you grow in caring about it and you feel like you're getting better at editing and filming and stuff, you will want more equipment to up level and take your video to the next level. You start to not be satisfied with your current tools that you have, because you can't execute like the more complicated vision you have in your mind using those tools. So a lot of times, as opposed to making you money, for a long time you have to put money into it so you can keep up leveling your content, so you can keep basically bringing your creative vision to life. And I'm a naturally creative person. I consider myself an artist. This is not the only artistic thing that I do or have done in my life. I just have the bug that lives inside me. If you're a creative person, you know what I mean. Where it's like, oh, but what if I did this? And I have to make it perfect. I have to do this. It's like this itch to where you have to make something the best that it can be creatively, and you need it to be a representation of what was in your mind. You can do this in an affordable way, but if you're anything like me, at a certain point, you're going to be spending money to make it better, because you have this obsession with it that, despite other people maybe thinking you're a clown, you have to do it, right? Another main negative, I think, is the attention that people get, either from their family and friends or people online. I'm lucky in the fact that I haven't really been privy to any people saying negative things about me that I used to know or whatever. I'm absolutely certain that they are, like people that I'm no longer friends with or that I'm not dating anymore, whatever. I'm sure that they probably are talking badly about me and how like it's weird that I'm doing this, but I honestly don't care, because I'm not like in contact with them. It can be a hard thing to get past, like feeling like everybody's going to be judging you and thinking you're an idiot. But I think now more than ever, everybody's posting online. So that idea of you being like dumb for doing this, at this point, like they're dumb because you have an Instagram yourself, you have a TikTok yourself. What's so different about this? But for some people, that is a really strong negative, that they get made to feel very bad by people in their life or that used to be in their life. There's also hate comments, which I really, once again, have not really gotten many hate comments. And if I did, I like forgot about them. In order to be able to handle that, you have to understand that it's okay that if people don't like you. And I don't think there's anything wrong with people who can't handle that, because in day-to-day life, we are conditioned to try to do right by others to make them like us, because why would we want to upset somebody else? Why would we want to make them mad or offend them somehow? The way that we get ahead in life and the way that we move smoothly through the world is by having positive or at least neutral interactions with other people. So when you make a video and somebody comes in like, you're ugly and you're weird, like that can be very stressful because, oh my God, like I can't believe this person literally just said to me that I'm ugly and weird. And people are significantly more judgmental online than they are in person for whatever reason. A lot of times people say you need a thick skin, but I don't even think it's about not letting it hurt you or not letting it get to you. I think it's more so about understanding that it's okay that this person doesn't like me. I mean, I have a hard time too. Like if I get like a really thought out written response to something that's kind of snotty, I'm like, oh my God, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I did that recently actually because somebody replied to me on a video with like this very horrible assessment of how it's like, oh, well, your friends in real life probably don't even like your videos. Like it's not resonating with people. You didn't have to add in that my friends don't like them either, because they do, because they like me. Why would my friends not like my videos if they like talking to me? And this is basically just the same thing. So I don't want to rehash that, but essentially, yeah, it can definitely be difficult. And there's nothing wrong with you if that's too big of a negative for you and you can't do it. But if this is something that you really feel like you would love and that you would like to do, push through it. And then that can turn into a positive, because if you learn that skill, if you learn the skill of being okay with other people thinking thoughts about you that you don't agree with, or thinking things about you that you're ugly, stupid, boring, dumb, evil, you know, because now evil is a massive one. Everybody's always getting some accusation of evil thrown onto them. You bought fast fashion, evil. You bought inaccessible, sustainable fashion, evil. You bought this and that, evil. You went here, evil. It's like, okay, you can't really escape that. Those are all of the, I think, primary negatives, like the biggest negatives. So now we can talk about the positives. One, it teaches you how to execute something, like how to have an idea and put it into reality. A lot of people have tons of ideas all of the time, and we are kind of used to not really acting on them. Because how many ideas have you had where you were like, oh wow, that would be great, but then you don't do anything about it because you feel like you don't know how, you feel like you don't have the skill level or the resources to make it happen. This at least teaches you to work with what you have in the beginning and to have to actually produce work. I don't remember where I read this, but it was some type of quote about how your art is only worth as much as in your portfolio. It's something like that, basically meaning that what you don't create doesn't count towards your legacy or your identity as an artist, but what you do create, that's all that people are going to see. These ideas that you have just sitting there and that you don't take action on because you feel like you can't do it, or you feel like you don't have all the things you need to make it perfect, that's not going to count in the long run. That galvanizes a lot of people to want to take action when they hear that. But social media, because of the emphasis that it places on consistency, you kind of have to push through that. You have to an extent, push through perfectionism. And being detail-oriented and perfectionism are two distinct things, and you have to know the difference if you're going to be doing anything that matters and putting it out there in the world. There are two schools of thought and two schools of advice I see online, especially about YouTube. The first is focus on quantity over quality in the beginning, which can really be multiple years, which basically means make things without worrying about them being perfect and just put them out. And then there is the opposite advice, which is don't worry about any of that and only make the best possible videos that you can make. and only put those out when you feel that they're the best ever. And I don't think either of those things are necessarily reasonable. I think different people need to hear each kind of advice. If you're actually perfectionistic and you feel like nothing is ever done, you always feel like there's more you can add to it, you always feel like you have this tendency towards doing the most, you're going to want to lean towards the quantity over quality sentiment, because chances are your low quality is probably like more medium quality to everyone else because you have this detail-oriented nature. Whereas if you tend to just see things very big picture and you're not as perfectionistic or detail-oriented about things, maybe hearing like, hey, why don't you spend more time with each piece of content, really working through it, really thinking about what works and what doesn't before you upload, that can be better advice for some people. But ultimately, you always have to come back around to being consistent. At some point, you're always going to have some level of consistency. The second main positive that I think I've learned through doing this is being adaptable and time management and being able to work around issues as they come up. When you're in school and something comes up and you don't get an assignment done, a lot of times you just get penalized for that. Like you just lose points, which I feel like is not really the way that things should work, but whatever. But when it comes to this, when it comes to meeting your upload schedule, there is no real penalty beyond the penalty that you give to yourself. Having to think on your feet and like move things around scheduling wise to be able to get your upload out when you wanted to get it out is definitely a skill. It's definitely a skill to be able to be adaptable. And especially if that's something that you struggle with, you can learn how to do that through something like this, because at least you're setting your own deadlines. And in a sense, it's kind of low stakes. Trying to be adaptable with like a school assignment or like a work project is going to make you feel like you're about to like die, because there's all these people involved in like this huge thing of like, oh no, well, am I going to get fired or oh no, I'm going to lose 30% of my grade? Because how are you supposed to learn adaptability when those are the strengths and that's the penalty? Like, even if you don't meet your own deadline that you set, nothing happens. So you're still free to, find your way back to being on schedule. One of the last main things that this taught me is that you shouldn't always listen to other people. I think the older you get, that's something you have to learn again and again, because we grow up being told things to do, and sometimes when we do them, we don't get the results that we want, but you feel this pressure to listen to everybody else. Like a lot of the YouTube advice channels on here, they have this notion that if you don't like succeed within a few months and get like 10K or something, that what you're doing is essentially like worthless and it has no value, and that nobody likes it, and that nobody's watching it ever, which is just not realistic, and it's not true. Because first of all, if you're a channel that is making videos that tell people how to make money, how to become famous, yeah, I'm not surprised that you gained 10,000 views in like a month. I'm not really surprised by that, because that is a significantly easier field to succeed in, and it's significantly more categorizable. If you're doing things that aren't neatly fitting in a box, the YouTube algorithm is going to have a harder time pinning your videos down. And the fewer subscribers you have and the fewer views that you have, the harder that gets, because then you're getting your videos recommended on like videos where the person making that video doesn't even speak your language. So sometimes people will go onto my video and then click off because I don't know if I don't have the right subtitles or something, but that's a problem. It gets placed on random content or content that isn't in the correct language. It gets placed on content that is just flat out weird. All of my fashion videos, they get placed on these weird videos of girls doing like borderline OF type content of like 4K transparent clothing try on. And I don't understand why YouTube allows these videos to be on their platform. But yeah, when my normal fashion video is getting recommended on those OF videos that people are clicking on and then immediately clicking off because they're expecting some type of adult content when they click. And that doesn't have anything to do with the way that I marketed the video or with the way that I tagged my video. It has to do with the way that those people are marketing and tagging their videos as try-ons and hauls and outfit videos. So the smaller your audience is, even if you're doing things mostly correct, it's harder for the algorithm to know where to place you. So you learn determination through doing this as well, to keep trying to make things better, to tweak things, fix things. But at the same time, you also need to learn to not just listen to others and trust your instinct and trust the feedback that you as an individual are getting. Because anybody from the sidelines who hasn't tried to do this can come in and say, oh, well, it's because you don't have 17 big red arrows in the thumbnail. Like that, I don't know what kind of NPCs are watching those videos, but I'm not the one, okay? Like, anybody who's gonna tell you that and you feel like it doesn't resonate, it doesn't fit, don't make yourself do it, because then you're gonna end up quitting. So follow your passion. If you feel a need to post and if you feel like a genuine desire to post and to share with other people, then do that. I don't think the stakes are as high as people feel that they are. I don't feel like the consequences are usually that grave of people being like, oh, well, she's weird. Okay, so what? If you have a job where being visible online can jeopardize your job, then maybe don't, or maybe have like a faceless account. There are plenty of successful faceless accounts. There are AI accounts that are faceless that are successful even though they're horrible, but there are genuine people who they research things and they do commentary and they just talk over their B-roll, they just talk over their video, and a lot of people follow them and watch them. So that's doable if there genuinely will be a consequence for you sharing your content and sharing yourself online. But anything other than that, you'll be fine. You just have to actually want to do this, and you have to actually want to put the effort in, because if you're not obsessed with it, if you're not really passionate about it for whatever reason, you're not going to be able to maintain it. Me, I keep doing this because anytime I feel demotivated and I think about stopping, I say to myself, well, what else is there for me to do? And the answer is nothing. There is nothing else for me. I like doing this. Whether people click or not, I can get sad genuinely sometimes when a video that I thought was going to get me more discoverability is not showing that. But in a sense, it really is gambling. You have to be able to move through the highs and lows. So I hope this gave you a little bit more perspective on what it's like doing this after I've been doing it for like over a year now, of just coming on here and talking and showcasing the things that I care about. I don't think the hustle culture way of talking about this always resonates with everyone or reaches everyone who feels like they might want to make videos, and they might easily get thrown off by feeling like they have to be shooting for the moon and the stars and the sun to do this. You don't have to. Like, you don't have to do that. If you watched until the end, comment a camera emoji, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.